What's up, buddy? Spotted Jim, and I'm joined by Rich Strickler. It's been a while since he's been on our channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Jackson Browne 1974 album, Late for the Sky. We're also going to be talking about our favourite Jackson Browne songs as well. It's great to see you, Rich.
Awesome to be here. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it. I like talking about Jackson Browne. My favorite Jackson Browne album, by the way.
One of my favourites.
Got it right here. Boom. Cool cover.
It's his third studio album. But yeah, I really like the album cover.
Yeah. But fun.
Yeah.
8 songs, right? Got 8 songs on the album.
Not a ton of songs on the album, but they're all fantastic. So we'll get started with reviewing the album. So we start off with the title track, Light for the Sky.
Great song. I mean, one of these loss and loneliness. A lot of these songs are sad, but introspective kind of writing. And I like that kind of stuff, you know, about relationship that's sort of over and coming to terms with it. And that's basically the content of that song, Late for the Sky. Got some great lyrics, obviously. Jackson Browne, what are you going to do? So,
yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic song. It's one of the more beautiful songs on the album, and I think it's got fantastic guitar work. And I think Jackson does one of his best vocal performances here. I think he sings it completely. I think it's also one of my favorite songs from this time period in general, really. And especially the lyrics, they're really relatable and very, very poetic as well. So yeah, it's definitely my favorite.
Very melodic, all that good stuff. The great arrangement on the instrumentation, everything's perfect. Really, it's one of the best songs.
Yeah, it's one of the best songs on the album. One of his best songs in general.
Can I recite a couple lyrics for it? If you don't mind?
Sure.
I just like the way he relationship and realizing that maybe it's not best, and for better or worse, it's time to move on. Listen to these lyrics here. The words had all been spoken, and somehow the feeling still wasn't right, and still we continued on through the night, tracing our steps from the beginning until they vanished into the air, trying to understand how our lives had led us there. Just a great, beautiful, poetic stanza, you know? And then at the end, he's saying, the chorus, how long have I been sleeping? How long have I been drifting alone through the night? How long have I been dreaming I could make it right if I close my eyes and try with all my might to be the one you need? So he realizes that maybe it's not the right person, or they're not right for each other, but yet he's tried, he's hung in there maybe a little too long, and now he's coming to terms with breaking up or that loss of someone that he really cared about. That's the way I interpret it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic stuff there. But we're now moving on to the second track, which is it's a worthy follow-up track. It's the song Fountains of Sorrow.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and this is triggered by a photograph he finds inside a drawer, or memories of regret or a lost love. Sort of building on the first song, they sort of work well together. Moving on, but holding a special place in your heart for that person that he's referring to in the photograph. That's basically the essence of the song. It's got a great chorus again, great lyricism, and they start off the album with a bang as a 1-2 punch. I think the title track and then Fountain of Sorrow just really gets you into the mood and the flow of what's coming throughout the album.
Yeah. I think just like Late for the Sky, it's a song that gets you thinking with lyrics, and I think it's another amazing song on the album. I really love the harmonies on it, and the piano playing as well.
Yeah,
it's definitely one of the more melancholic songs on the album, and I think it's quite interesting the fact that the chorus for the song doesn't really appear until about midway through.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's excellent.
It's a song a bit more unique. It reminds you of Tiny Dancer by Elton John, but the chorus doesn't appear until about midway through.
Yeah, came out around the same time too. Tiny
Yeah,
Dancer was maybe a year before, but they're close together in that time period.
but now move on to the track Farther On.
Farther On is really a deep, sad, lonely, depressing song. It's again struggling to move on, find that meaning of life, looking for hope. Beautifully heartbreaking lyrics. I relate to these a lot. Let me read a couple of these lyrics. In my early years, I hid my tears and passed my days alone. Adrift on an ocean of loneliness, my dreams like nets were thrown. To catch the love that I'd heard of in books and film and songs, now there's a world of illusion and fantasy in the place where the real world belongs. Just tremendous writing. Anybody that spent a lot of time alone, reflecting on maybe your own life and where you fit in, this is a song that you can really relate to, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also love the slide guitar playing on the track as well. And yeah, this is another one of the songs on the album that showcases Jackson's great vocal range. I think this is the most country sounding song on the album, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that steel, David Lindley's playing really brings that out.
But then we move on to the final track on the first side, and that's The Late Show.
Yeah, it's a good closing side on the A side here. The late again, alienation, loneliness, difficulty connecting with other people, figuring out what's authentic in some people and fake in another, and it has to do with leaving baggage behind and moving on with your life, putting the past in the rearview mirror and looking to the future. The Late Show, a great song. I don't have any lyrics down for that, but believe me, they're just as deep and moving and meaningful as the first three we've heard.
Yeah, definitely is. Just like the second track on the album, the chorus doesn't appear until about midway through or the latter half of the song. But I think my favorite part of the song actually is the guitar solo. I really love the guitar solo on this one.
Yeah,
it definitely fits with the whole mood of the song with the lyrics, and you can even hear a car revving at the end of the track, which I think goes well with the album cover. Seeing a car,
it does.
By,
it really it fits in with that album cover with the car sitting outside the house with the lights on and maybe no one's home. I think that refers to that in the lyric.
Yeah,
and the album cover is cool because look how dark it is here, and yet you have the blue sky above. It's kind of ironic that way.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It's beautiful artwork. It really is.
But we now move on to the second half of the album. So the first track on side 2 is The Road and the Sky.
Yeah, The Road and the Sky is an up-tempo number compared to the first 4 songs here. A rocker to break up the flow of the album. Again, it summarizes the loss of idealism and difficulty finding one's way in the world. It's not as deep lyrically. I don't think it's supposed to be, but still, it works. Jackson, again, I think he's a really strong singer. He brings out the meaning of his songs in his voice. You can tell that the guy he's reading his own or singing his own material, which is important. It's authentic. It's genuine. It's from the heart. These are all great songs, and I love this one too. Even though it's not maybe as strong or personally meaningful to me, I still like it. It works on the album.
Yeah, it's a very feel-good sounding song. It's one that you can't help but move along to. And it's also the shortest track on the album as well. But yeah, I really like the guitar riff in it as well. It's very catchy. I love the piano slides in the song as well. Yeah, overall, a really great song to start side 2 with. But they move on to the track for a dancer.
Wow, this is a tough one. This is a tear-jerking song. I really, it's about death and
a very emotional one.
Very emotional. It was written for a friend of his who happened to be a dancer who died in a fire. So it has personal meaning for Jackson as well. A lot of these unanswered questions about death, where are we going? Why are we here? All that stuff. I don't know. And a couple of lyrics. I don't know what happens when people die. I can't seem to grasp it as hard as I try. Perhaps a better world is drawing near. Just as easily it could all disappear along with whatever meaning you might have found. And somewhere between the time you arrive and the time you go may lie a reason you were alive, but you'll never know. And that's truthful. I mean, you wonder your whole life, what's my purpose? Why am I here? But you never really find out the answer because whether there's a heaven or not, you're not going to be able to relate it to the other people. And it's a cool song. It's a personal favorite of mine, I think.
Yeah. It's another beautiful song on the album. And I really like the bass work on it as well. But I think it contains some of the best lyrics that those guys has ever done. And I also really like the fiddle playing in it as well. It's nice to hear that.
And it's sort of, that instrument works well with like a funeral dirge or something. It's sort of melancholy and sad the way he's playing it. Again, that's David Lindley, his side musician, playing that. The bass player you mentioned is Doug Haywood. Excellent, really good.
But I think my favorite part of the song is probably the chorus and also the final line, which mentions about mortality.
Right.
Yeah, I think overall, it's definitely one of the standout tracks on the album.
Yeah.
Then you move on to the track "Walking Slow," which is another one of the rockier sounding songs on the album.
Yeah, rockier. Actually, it's my least favorite song on the album for me personally, but it's catchy and I don't think it quite fits on the album as the other 7, but that's just my opinion. I'm interested to see what you think of Walking Slow.
Yeah, I really like it. I think the song, it contains a more traditional structure with verse, chorus. But yeah, I think it's got a really infectious chorus. It's definitely a song that makes you feel good. I love the addition of the hand claps as well.
Yep.
I think we're all, a really, really good song. But then we close out the album with Before the Deluge.
Yeah, Before the Deluge. This is a cautionary tale, a warning about the environment, kind of a pre-apocalyptic vision of where we're headed if we don't take care of the earth that we're lucky to be on. He talks about being angry at the way the earth was abused, talking about nuclear power, global warming, pollution, all those things. And I like the line, "The light that's lost within us reaches the sky." That's like the hope that we can fix things as they are and make a better world for everybody. That's another beautiful song, great lyrics. And he actually played this at the No Nukes concerts in like 1979, 1980, trying to stop a lot of the buildup of nuclear weapons and that type of thing. And this song fits that category. It's excellent.
Yeah. It's nice that the fiddle is back in this song. I think it's also got great organ playing. I think it's an excellent way to conclude this excellent album. I love the harmonies on it, and I think it's got really good drumming on it as well. But I think the whole album has got really good drumming on it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Who's the drummer on it?
The drummer on this is Larry Zach, who I really am not familiar with, but he did a good job. Drums and percussion, Larry Zach. Also on this album, there's some background vocals by Don Henley, Dan Fogelberg, and J.D. Souther, who recently passed away. They all contribute to some of the background vocals on this album. Good work.
It's pretty cool that they did that.
Yeah.
But we'll now go ahead and, as there's only 8 tracks, I might as well rank all the 8 tracks. So
All right. You want to go one at a time, or how you want to do it?
Just go through eight through 1. Just quickly go through them.
8 through 1. My number 8 is Walking Slow. Number 7 is going to be The Road and the Sky, the 2 up-tempo numbers. Number 6, I've got The Late Show, the one with the car in front of the house there. I love it, but it's coming in at 6. Number 5 is Before the Deluge. Number 4, Farther On. Number 3, For a Dancer. 2, Fountain of Sorrow. And 1 is the title track, Late for the Sky.
I think our rankings are quite similar. My number 8 is The Road in the Sky. My number 7 is Walking Slow. So I've got the up-tempo ones as the lowest songs on the album.
Right.
My number 6 is Farther On. My number 5 is The Late Show. Number 4 is After the Deluge. Number 3 is Fountain of Sorrow. Number 2 is For a Dancer. And my number 1 is also the title track, Late for the Sky.
Pretty close. We're pretty close. We have a couple flip-flop, but for the most part, it's very similar.
But we'll now give this album a rating out of 10.
Well, I'm going to give it a 10.
Well, I'm going to give it a 9.75. So
that's fair.
We're pretty close.
Yeah. I think it's just beautiful. I think it's his best album by quite a bit, and I have to give it a 10. Even though I quibbled on Walking Slow a little bit, but the other 7 songs I really like on the album quite a bit.
It's probably my second favorite album of his, after the self-titled debut.
Yeah, there's nothing to sneeze at there. That's a great one.
So before we go through our top 5 Jackson Browne songs, do you have any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions for Jackson Browne songs?
Yeah, or do you just want to go straight into it?
I probably have a ton. I didn't make note of them, but let me just look at my albums real quick here, if you don't mind. Honorable mentions would be, Song for Adam is an honorable mention for me off the first album. Rock Me on the Water, also.
That's a good one.
For Every Man, the title track of his second album, is an honorable mention. Fountain of Sorrow is an honorable mention, and also For a Dancer. Those would be the ones that I would single out right now as my honorable mentions.
Well, I've written down my top 10 Jackson Browne songs, so I'll quickly go through my number 10 to number 6.
Okay.
So my number 10 is actually his latest song, That's Everywhere I Look. I'm not sure if you've heard that one.
I have. Yep.
I hope he releases a new album with that song on. That's probably what might happen.
I think it will. I think it'll happen.
But my number 9 is Fountains of Sorrow. My number 8 is my favorite song from this album, and it's Lawyers in Love.
Ooh, good one. I like it.
My number 7's the title track, Running on Empty. That's, of course, Running on Empty. My number 6 is the song The Only Child, which is one of the songs from the Pretender album.
Yep.
And that's my number 6. So we're going through our top 5 now. So you can just reveal your number 5 now.
My number 5, what I did was I picked one song from his first 5 albums. That's how I'm doing it. So my number 5 is from this first album, Jackson Browne. Doctor My Eyes is my number 5. Big hit record, put him on the map as far as, the public's concerned. So I have a lot of fondness for that song, 1972, Doctor My Eyes.
Well, I'm going to be quite quick on my number 5, because my number 5 is For a Dancer. I've already mentioned that one.
Yeah, great pick.
I love it that much that, he got into my top 5.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Definitely lyrically as strong as anything he's ever done. My number 4, I went with a song off his second album, the For Every Man album, and that would be the song These Days.
Oh,
love it.
That was supposed to make him a top 10. Yeah.
Again, David Lindley all over this, Doug Hayward on bass, Jim Keltner on the drums. The arrangement was inspired by Greg Allman of the Allman Brothers. Just a beautiful song, lyrically, musically, the whole 9 yards. So I had to put that within my top 5 these days.
Well, my number 4 is my favorite song from The Pretender. I know it's not The Pretender. It's the song Linda Paloma.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that one.
Interesting.
Especially with the instrumentation. Got the accordion and got a harp. It's a very unique sounding song for him. I can't really think of any of the songs that sound like that one, really. But yeah, I love it. I love the lyrics. I love the vocals. I love everything about it.
That's a good one. I wasn't expecting that. That's a good one. Good deep cut.
Yeah. So
my number 3 is from the album we talked about today, the title track, Late for the Sky. Just a beautiful song. On another day, it would be number 1. I'm going through the top 5 here and picking one song for each. So that came in at number 3. Just one of my favorites.
My number 3 is a song from his self-titled debut, and that's Jamaica Say You Will.
Yeah.
First song on the album. Yeah, I love it. I love the guitar work and the vocals. Yeah, I think it's just a brilliant way of starting the album. It's probably one of my favorite album openers.
Yeah, I love that song. I'm glad you picked that one because that should have been on my honorable mentions for sure.
Didn't the Birds do that one?
Yeah. Beautiful. My number 2 title track, The Pretender. What can I say? This is just a beautiful song. It's actually the last song. It sums up the album.
Yeah.
It's about people sort of, let me just read a couple lyrics if I can pull them out here because I wasn't quite prepared, but what do I got? Just great songs. It's sort of a guy that's selling out. Used to be maybe a hippie and somebody that bucked the system. Now he's selling out. He's calling himself the Pretender because he's sort of joining the establishment, as it were. Caught between the longing for love and the struggle for the legal tender, where the sirens sing and the church bells ring and the junk band pounds his fender, where the veterans sleep of the fight, fast asleep at the traffic light, and the children solemnly wait for the ice cream vendor. Into the cool of the evening strolls the Pretender. He knows that all his hopes and dreams begin and end there. And it goes on. There's more lyrics than that. I don't want to read the whole song, but it's a fantastic album and a fantastic title track song.
That might be his best album closer.
Yeah, could very well be.
But my number 2, I'll be quite quick on this one because it's a title track for Late for the Sky. That's, of course, Late for the Sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I say? It's a perfectly written song.
And it made both our top 5s overall.
I think it's gotta be in everyone's top 10 at least for Jackson Browne.
Yeah. My number 1, I went with the title track Running on Empty. Live, sort of semi-live album written backstage on the bus in the hotel rooms, kind of a concept album. But that title track, it's played live, really strong. Where's it recorded? In Maryland in 1977. And a big hit record.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe arguably his most famous song, but one of his best for me. I just love it. Every time it comes on the radio, I'm cranking that baby up, Running on Empty.
That's probably his best selling album. That one.
Yeah.
That was the one that you got me. Got it behind me.
That's right. Now I see it there.
I believe it's Sam St. John's favorite Jackson Browne album.
I think it is. I think Sam likes that the best, and I can understand why. It's probably my second favorite after "Wait for the Sky."
That reveal my favorite Jackson Browne song, which is my favorite track from his self-titled debut, and that's "Song for Adam."
Yeah,
I think it's got my favorite lyrics of his. It's quite a sad song, but I think it's a beautiful one. At the same time, I love the vocals on it, and I think it's got like a fiddle in that one as well.
yeah,
But
great pick.
I think it's a fantastic song. Definitely one of my favorite songs of this era of music.
And that was another personal song that a friend of his named Adam, who unfortunately I think either fell or jumped off a building, or it was a suicide. I'm not sure the exact details, but that's who he's writing about.
Yeah,
Song for Adam, and incredible lyrics, sad as heck, but a very real and very emotional song.
I think they're his best songs. The ones that are quite personal to him.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I put those two, "Walking Slow" and "The Road in the Sky," towards the bottom of my list, because I think they were just there to beef up the album, to give it some catchy stuff, where the other six songs are really personal and really strong lyrically, and that's the stuff that I prefer to hear, especially out of Jackson Browne.
Yeah. It was great to have you on my channel once again, Rich.
Thank you, Adam. This was fun. I really liked going over this particular subject. Jackson Browne, as you know, is one of my favorite performers, favorite solo artists, and
yeah, it's one of my favorites too.
So I'm glad you had me on and we were able to do this. Thank you.
But if anyone's watching, please let us know your thoughts on "Late for This Guy" and your favorite Jackson Browne songs. But do you have any final words before we conclude this?
No, I just want to thank you again for having me. It was great getting back together. It's been since April, so it's like 6 months since we did a video together, and always a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's been great. Hope to get you on my channel once again. Maybe invite Jason next time.
Yeah, let's do it.
But until next time, everyone, peace out, peace and love, and ciao.